Welcome back. My name is Uhfgood. I am making an adventure game, which will be part 2D. Yeah, let's play this. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I see what I did. I did that, and then I did that. Um, Part 2D, 2D sprites, 2D characters, and some props and things. And 3D low poly backgrounds with hand painted textures to look like kind of painterly backgrounds in 3D space. And so I am discussing how I'm going to proceed on the game from here. So, as I was saying, um, let's see, let's go back to this. Okay. As I was saying, was deciding to start work on Max's character, right? Because he's kind of interesting and stuff, and and then I had to talk about what could I do to actually kind of get going on this thing, so not just appearing to spin my wheels, right? So I'm thinking, yeah, it'd be good just to do it like a one, especially in an adventure game, you do like a one room, where there's a kind of simple puzzles, it's just getting used to the interface and to introduce to some characters and all this stuff. And so I figured that almost the first scene, or at least the first playable scene, would be actually ideal, because, like I said, the the thing that sets everything off is see, actually, well, okay, let me go back. um, Let me say that the whole inciting incident thing, the whole thing that's happening is that halfway notices that the schools have closed. The academy starts training with their weapons. The dwarves close their mines. The wizard U's closed. um, Fairy God College has become a secret society. You hear about people disappearing, and most of the food establishments have been closed down, and most of the hotels have been closed down. Especially the main one, the Grand Enchanted, which is in the middle. And so he knows all these things, and then he gets a call, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. If I'm going to do like they have private two-way personal magic mirrors or something, because everything in the world is kind of like it's got modern conveniences, but it's using like magical means and stuff. They still don't have automobiles; they use carriages, and they actually do have flying trains. Um, so there's kind of this kind of weird mix, and the Quicksilver is the magic everything runs on. So you have lights, you have magic mirrors that acts like a TV or a communication device or whatever. So I'm not sure if he's gonna get basically the king is the halfway is gonna get summoned to the administration castle, and then he goes there and he looks at the king, and there's something off about the king. He doesn't know what. He's acting kind of weird, and there's this guy named Max, and Max is sort of I guess the picture that I've had in my mind all this time is the what do they call those guys that do like the number? It's magic, but it's like a psychological, number thingy. Anyways, I don't know if you remember the magician Max Maven. That's partly probably why I picked Max in my head, because I'm kind of picturing him, and he's got like this dark hair. And I'm also okay. So I'm also kind of maybe confusing it, but maybe not, because I kind of remember, to me, he looked kind of like the Master from Doctor Who, and I mean the old Master from um, the 70s. This it's not going to be like maybe in the 60s, but from the Tom Baker era. Um, we'll just say the Tom Baker era, and it actually went through maybe even up into the Sylvester McCoy era, but I forget that actor's name. Um, but actually, you know what? I could kind of pull that up, couldn't I? Um, let's let's do something here. In fact, let's see if we can pull both of them up. Let's say uh, the master, um, Doctor Who classic. Okay. Yeah, this guy. Well, actually, I'm not sure if this is the first appearance, the Terror of the Autons. I'm not sure this is the guy that I remember. Maybe it is though, because I think they went through two doctors or two masters in there. Um, yeah, um, this guy was the original guy here, right, with John Pertwee, and what is he like the third Doctor? Can't remember. Um, but then we have, let's see, Trial of the Time Lord. Um, I still have the sound off, but the master should appear in here. I saw him in the thumbnail. Let's see what we got here. If they give it like a good view of him here, you can't really tell that well because the quality is not that great. But this is the kind of the guy that I was kind of picturing for Max, was kind of like that. And let's see if Max Maven looks similar. Uh, Prediction. uh, yeah, kind of. I'm kind of thinking this guy. Yeah, kind of, sort of looks like that. Here. And it's who I'm thinking of here. What I'm thinking. See, this is more of what I was thinking. The master in classic Doctor Who during Tom Baker, and not the first one, but the one that come after, the one that I was showing you from that clip from the Trial of Time Lord, which is a Colin Baker one from 1985. And this is more. This is a similar kind of a look, right? The kind of the pointed forehead thing. It's black hair, and he's got this like mustache and beard and all this stuff. And that's the kind of guy that I'm picturing for Max, sort of. And I'm not even sure why I kind of went off on that, but I was kind of trying to say that I was basically, for the villain, I was kind of picturing this kind of guy. And so yeah, see, I tend to get sidetracked. I guess that's why you need like a script, or you need some notes or something. I have to figure out how to do that, because I'm kind of winging this. I'm kind of like making this game as I go, right? So let's see. Okay. Wait a second. All right. So yeah, I'm kind of making this up as I go, sort of, because it's kind of a big project. It's an adventure game. I've tried to start a couple of adventure games, not been getting very far. So at this point, I'm kind of like, what's it matter if it's a small one or a big one? Because it's all kind of the same to me, because I haven't done it before. It's like my Tetris game, my Tetris clone. That was the hardest piece of software I've ever written, and that was because it was my first one. And to me, it was huge, even though it's a really small game, and most coders, at least that are better than me, can like knock it out in a day, a few hours or whatever. Tetris are easy to people. It wasn't easy to me though, and to me it was really hard. But see, that's kind of how the thing works, right? You don't know until you do it. So, in any case, what was I getting at? Okay, so Max, he comes in, he fires a halfway and ejects him from the castle, and literally, like I was saying from that clip from the Emperor's New Groove, is kind of something sort of like that. And so then halfway he has to investigate, and he tries to investigate, and he realizes he needs some help. And I'm not sure how that's going to work out. If I'm going to do that in like a story, like a cutscene, or if you're going to actually reveal it through gameplay. But he figures he needs outside help, so he comes to our world. He picks a guy, and he actually kind of knows who he is, but we won't know until halfway through it or something. I don't know. Um, so so then I was thinking, yeah, that would be great to do the throne room scene, because you'll be introducing some of the villains, which are, I have a dragon in there, and I have the Black Knight, and the Black Knight, um, he's not going to be in there because he's out hunting unicorns, and so what was I trying to say here? Um, so you'll be introduced to a few of them, like Violet and Red, and Barty the gnome, and of course Max himself, and we'll see some of them. They'll just be, you won't really know who they are or what they're doing until you get into playing the game. But they'll be at the board meeting, the quote unquote board meeting, air quotes or whatever. And So then halfway gets ejected, and that's the thing that kind of starts everything, right? So then I was thinking, okay, I'll have to get that in the next video, because it's a little bit of a process here too. So I'll talk to you in a little bit.